Okay, let's get this thing ready for VR. Now, the model you're seeing here has a ton more stuff than I expect from you at this point, but yours might develop into a good portion of this as we go. Really, all you need right now for our first submittal of this for VR is the landmass, your lid feature, and the mass modeled of the building. At a minimum, it should be one that's just got a second story on it, but maybe you've done something different. Okay, so that should be on it at a minimum. And then if you've got some other stuff, that's fine, but you'll have a chance to develop yours more as you go. But I've just been throwing all sorts of stuff on here for examples for you for later on. But now I want to get this ready for VR. Okay, and the best, what we consider best practice is that your VR model is somewhat different from your other models. So I'm going to save this as a new file, and then I'm going to pick and choose what I want to be able to see in the VR, and I'm going to clean it up just a little bit. I'm going to clean my model up just a touch so that Iris VR has fewer things to have to interpret and figure out. So in this case, I want to see everything. I want to see all the cool stuff that I've put in here. I want to be able to walk around to the back and maybe even go up the stairs and go inside. And who knows? Lighting will be an issue with this one because the interior, I don't believe Iris VR provides internal lighting. We'll find out when we get in there. The upstairs is fine because there's enough light coming in. But we'll see. But at a minimum, I want to keep this. But I'm going to keep everything. I'm going to keep my tiny house and my utility shed and my thing back here. I put a little water into the ponds. I'll show you how to do that later. I've made this swale to be all rock. I'll show you how to do that later. I put in a little bridge across the stream. I'll show you how to do that later. I put in some vegetable things. I just want to be able to walk around. Okay, so here we go. So my file is okay. I want to see everything that I've got in there for right now, but I'm going to save this as a new file. Save as a project. And I'm going to call it, I'm going to keep my file name, but I'm going to attach -VR to it. Now, why am I saying that sometimes you want to keep things separated out? Often, what you'll find is that your BIM file has phases in it. It's got the original, then it's got stormwater pollution plan, fencing, and tracking pads, and then it's got some stuff showing how things get built, and then it's got the final. And so I would get rid of things like my any construction fencing. If I didn't want to see it, get rid of my tracking pads. I'd get rid of the utility sheds that were maybe there. I'd get rid of that kind of stuff. But in this case, I'm not going to erase or delete anything. I want to see everything I've got. However, I've got a few extra things on here. I've got some extra views that can potentially confuse the program you're in or make it harder to find what you want. So I'm going to delete these views. Right click, delete the views that were set up. These were camera views that I had done before. Okay, delete that one. And I'm going to delete my export view. So now I'm pretty well cleaned up, and I'm going to delete my section view. I don't need to see my section in this one. Now my other views I tend to keep. If I delete these, it actually deletes the level and all that, and things get lost and go away. So your floor plan views, those are cool because Iris VR won't deal with them. Ceiling plan views, they're fine. anything flat you can leave, but get rid of any extra camera views or 3D views. And it's not even bad to get rid of your rendered views, because that just makes your file bigger if you have renderings. Okay? If you have sheets, you can get rid of those too, because they make your file bigger. If you have schedules, you can get rid of those because they just make your file bigger. We want this to be the nice, cleanest, easiest file for our software to use. And now it is. So now I can do my final save. That's how simple it is to prepare your model for VR. Get rid of all the stuff you don't want. Well, save it as a new file called -VR, and then get rid of what you don't want to pass to the software and save it. There we go.